So I've got some of Finnabair's gesso, just a little bit, on one of her spatula brushes, and it adds a nice bit of texture. It's only a little bit you need, but it gives you just, getting used to the camera angle there, look, can you see the texture? Gives you some lovely texture. Little bits of paint, it's just on a piece of card. What I've used there are the Impasto paint by Finnabair. So those reds, poppy red, wild iris, lemon peel, raspberry, pumpkin, crimson, to start with. Dry. I'll give it a quick waft off with the heat gun, and I'm going to go in to my paints very lightly. I don't want a lot on the end of my, this is an old credit card, unused. And I'm just going to slightly, you see, squodge down. Now these paints are Impasto paints, are a bit thicker and they leave a bit of texture and a bit of, show you. So they leave a bit of a ridge, which is what we're after. We want the texture. So, get rid of the red. I've only put a couple of bits of red on. Don't use a lot of red. It's a very powerful colour. So I'm going in now for the pink. So, different angle. Gives you a bit more. But literally, just keep dipping in. And get your lines. So I'm going to wipe that off. I'm going to go in with the purple. Now, I've used colours that are all of the similar hue. So, I didn't want to come in with the blues and the greens yet, because if you mix them with the red, they end up tending to go muddy, or if you mix the orange with the green, that goes brown. So, I stick to colours that are quite happy. And you see here, I'm just dipping in the yellow, that are quite happy mixing. But be careful of purple and yellow. And this is the other way of doing it. It was one of Finnabair's art brushes. Oh, there. So again, just go straight in. Right, you can see it's building up now. What happens is you leave gaps for the blues and the greens. Like I say, you can see the red does really stand out still. It does really jump out. I mean, which is lovely. We want red to jump out. It's a lovely, vibrant colour that captures and pulls the eye into a piece of art. So I'm not going right to the top and right to the bottom. You'll see why later down the path. So I'm pulling the lines further down the page. Pretty straight. I'm not worried if they're not fully straight. Put the odd one up at the top. But I'm basically treating it as though it's a page on a book. Now I'm going to dry this quickly with the heat gun and I'll be back. You see there, I've left some paint on my mat. What happens is if you leave it to dry, you get these really lovely, yummy acrylic skins. Just peel them up and off, which I'll be using later. So that's how they're made. The paints I'm going to use next are Azure, Bottle Green, Jade, Green Apple and Cobalt. So it should be about dry. I've dried it underneath as well to make sure. Also, to protect the other paints and keep them alive, keep them wet, I've placed a piece of kitchen roll, wet wipe just to keep them, and I've sprayed it with water just to keep them nice and damp, keep them alive for a bit longer. Right, same again, I'm going to go in with credit card or with the paintbrush and get the paint on. I'm just mixing there a bit there. That's it. So, I can get that down here. Can you see? Yes, you can. So I'm going to go in with the lighter colours first, in between. Now, because this is dried, I can go over the top slightly, but because the lower colours have dried, they're not mixing, so they're making a contrast, and which is making a lovely, lovely flash of colour, of rainbow colour. So I'd rather put less in and go back in with more, so I'm going to go in with a different colour. Jade. Now then, look, see, that's not going to worry me. Just lift it off. Nothing wrong with a different blob here and there, and at the end of the day we will slightly cover that up anyway. So I'm working to the bottom of my work again. So clean that one. I'll try again with the art brush. This is a bit more flexible. So it's a lovely green here. It's a really nice pop colour, this one. Wow. So I've slightly gone over that now and it's made it smaller anyway. So don't freak out. A bit of the green. It's a bit darker, that green, so I've brought it to the bottom of the page. Now this blue, again, it's like the red. This blue is so bright, it's beautiful, it's amazing. So I'm very sparing I'm going to use this because it does jump off the page. It starts to make things pop. This technique I do in watercolour with brushes. I do it with brushes with acrylic. This is the quickest version. With the credit card or the art brush. So I'm going to dry that. So you get the bigger stripe by going in at an angle, get the thinner stripes going in straight down. Okay. Right, for around the edges I have an undercoat first, just a lighter colour, but what happens is it fills in the areas around the edges, and then this black will sit on top of it, so it looks like it's a sort of mist. So I tend to go for a lighter colour so that these middle ones pop. And just seeing whether you can see the texture on these again. Yeah, it's just coming. That's the Impasto paints. So the brush that I tend to really love for doing this is this Finnabair, again, Art Basic brush. It's like a bristly brush, and you just load your brush up very, very lightly. I take the excess off on another piece of card. You can see I'm taking it off. I really don't want a lot on. And then you see I'm just flying in. I've done this in the past with other paintbrushes, but oh my goodness, this is a lifesaver, this new brush. It just does the job so quickly. So I'm mixing in a bit of the iris now. Oh, hello. Anyway, mixing in a bit of that just to give it a bit of depth down the bottom. Yeah, too much. So again, wipe it off on your piece of card. There. You see I'm moving it around. So there, I'm just slightly dabbing over the edge, but it's dry brushing. Very fast this is, it's unbelievably fast. Superb brush. I'm going to wash that straight away. Now then, the black. I've already got the black ready. I've got the next brush for the black. This will dry very fast. Yeah, it has, it's dry. So again, very important. And you see I'm taking the tiniest bit onto the end of the brush. I'm going to test it. Yeah, it's not enough. I'd rather have too little than too much. Right. So I'm going to go in now. Circular movement, only slightly onto the edge. I'm turning as I'm going along. And get a bit more. I'm going to check, see if I've not got too much. Yeah, I'm okay. And again, just slightly on. I'm just going to keep doing this until I get the black that I want, the depth. This is a lovely little trick. It's with the sparks. I'm using Dragon's Eye. It's got little bits of glitter in it. It just takes my breath away, this paint. It is divine. So this is a very quick, neat trick to show you. I just put some of the paint on the table. It's far too much what I'm going to use. But you've got to have everything at the ready. I've got the water spray, I've got a kitchen roll, and we're ready. I'm going to wet the piece of work down. It's dried nicely, so I'm going to wet it down. I'm going to quickly stroke on a bit of this paint, literally. You see, now I don't want it to cover everything up, so again, super quick. I'm rinsing down some of the gold, blot it off, and you're left with bits of gold shimmering. Can you see it? There, now you can see it. That's a good angle. There, you've got to be quick though, because it dries super quick. That's why I say everything at the ready. So I'll leave that to dry again, and I'm just going to go around the edges again with the black, just to deepen that black off, because it's slightly lightened it with the gold. So to fetch the border in to the background, I'm just going to get a bit of the black and the credit card. Just add a tiny bit in. It makes all the difference. It's at the minute it's quite a separated piece of work, and just putting the black and white in makes a lot of difference. And I'm going to do the same with the white paint, which is Snow White Impasto paint from Finnabair. Right, this breaks up a lot of the colour, this, with the white. It just separates and, again, pops. It pops. It's